For millions of Americans, COVID has killed the vibe, if you know what I mean. A new study by Indiana University found 40% reported having less sex during the pandemic, and new Census Bureau data shows the U.S. birth rate has declined dramatically. I surmise, my friends, that these two things perhaps might be related. Jason, I'm going to drill you on this on our IG Live after the show, but I'm coming to you on this. I'm coming to you on this, my friend. Let's talk about sex, in the words of Salt and Pepper. Do you think that these two things are related? And you and I have talked about this, that younger people, millennials and Gen Zers, they're allegedly not having, as much sex. And there are people who told me when I talked about this, like, that's not limited to younger people. I'm curious your thoughts on it.
Look, as the R&B singer says, people think they invented sex. No, these things have happened before, right? Like when you have major economic downturns, when you have public crises, there often is a point where people just ain't really in the mood to kick it. And then it all sort of comes back. I mean, trust me, people talk about a hot summer this year. It's probably going to be 2022. Right? It's 2022 when things are really, really open, is when people will be financially, emotionally, psychologically, they will have knocked off the COVID-19, so to speak, from the pound perspective, and might be more interested in it. So I think that is a legitimate part of it. But the bigger issue is this, quite frankly, Tiffany, people's notions of what is sexy and what is attractive and what is appealing have begun to change, right? People don't drink as much, which was a huge lubricant to people having sex both responsibly and irresponsibly. Ideas of consent, thank goodness, have changed, which means people have a lot more agency in how often they're having sex. And then, frankly, access to pornography has also had a dimming effect on lots of young people being able to enjoy sex in the ways they have. And there's lots of sociological studies on this. That's one of the reasons that we've seen all these increases in commercials about sexual dysfunction and everything else like that for men as young as their 20s, because people's increased access, men and women, to pornography. So I think it's a bunch of issues.
Yeah, we are out of time, but I wanted everybody to be able to weigh in on this subject just really quickly, because I want to put Aaron on the spot. Aaron, do you have any quick thoughts on this subject?
Yeah, I mean, my quick thought is babies are expensive. None of this is happening in isolation. Your grandma didn't have student loan debt. She could maybe, she and grandpa could maybe get a house. People are getting married later, right? This is about pay equity. This is about the wealth gap. I mean, having a baby is not cheap. That is my takeaway from this, and that might have a lot to do with why these younger folks are thinking, I don't know, maybe not the best time to be starting a family.
All right, Giassi, you will have to come back for our next panel on sex, because I wanted to get your thoughts on it as well. But we're way out of time. My producers are yelling, we got to go. So
hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.